All rise. Court is in session.
Please be seated, everyone. This is cause number 14-1007866, State of Washington versus Gabriel, is it Gaeta? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Mr. Hall?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Matters on today for preliminary appearance. Before we get into that, are there any preliminary motions from either counsel?
Your Honor, Kelly Montgomery on behalf of the state, good afternoon.
Hi.
We will have a motion for a competency evaluation, but we can go ahead and proceed with the preliminary first.
Mr. Hall?
Thank you, Your Honor. For the record, once again, Keith Hall. We do have a preliminary motion regarding the media and showing the defendant's face on any television cameras. We would object to that at this time. We don't know if there will potentially be identity issues or any other issues. And given the case's status, we would ask for that at this time.
And specifically as it relates to identity, you're suggesting that there may be an issue as it relates to that in this case?
There may, I don't know at this time, Your Honor.
Ms. Montgomery, what's your position regarding the defendant's motion to not have the media video or take pictures of his face?
State the first in the court.
Are there any members of the public or media who want to address that issue?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you want to come forward, please? Sir, good afternoon. What's your name, please?
Kevin McCarty with Cairo TV.
Mr. McCarty, what would you like me to know?
We object based on General Rule 16 of the Benchmark Press Guidelines, which states that open coverage is presumed unless there is a specific and compelling reason to deny. Now, the identity issue, as we read through the probable cause documents, doesn't seem to be one that's present at this time. There don't seem to be any other suspects in this case, and there is a confession. So we would argue that saying that there could be an identity issue down the road is speculative and paints with too broad a brush. We'd object and ask the motion to be denied.
Thank you, Mr. McCarty. Based on representations of counsel, I am satisfied that there is a compelling interest to not photograph Mr. Gaeta's face at this time and during these proceedings, so that motion is granted. The compelling reason specifically is that counsel, as an officer of the court, has articulated an issue of identity. We're at the very early stages of this case, and I'm going to defer to Mr. Hall as an officer of the court regarding that issue. I do believe that in reading General Rule 16, while Mr. McCarty is certainly correct that open access is presumed, limitations can be made when they're supported by reasons found by the judge to be sufficiently compelling, and I'm satisfied that the issue of identity at this point is sufficiently compelling to warrant that request, and that motion is granted. Anything else, Mr. Hall?
No, Your Honor.
As relates to the preliminary appearance, and then we'll address the motion regarding competency. Sir, are you Gabriel Gaeta? How old are you, please? Can you read and write the English language? I'm obligated to inform you at this time the nature of the charges that may be filed against you. At this point, you have been placed under arrest for the following offenses. Offense 1, RCW 9A320301A, murder in the first degree, with an aggravating circumstance of concealing commission of the crime, an aggravating circumstance of sexual motivation, and an aggravating circumstance of a particularly vulnerable victim. RCW 9A320301C, murder in the first degree, aggravating circumstance of sexual motivation, and an aggravating circumstance of a particularly vulnerable victim. Rape of a child in the first degree, which is under RCW 9A44073, with an aggravating circumstance of a particularly vulnerable victim. That's the nature of the charges that you've been placed under arrest for. This is not an arraignment, so at this time the prosecution does have leave to file an information, and I understand that may be delayed somewhat depending on the outcome of your motion for competency. Is that right, Ms. Montgomery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gaeta, I do have the obligation to further inform you that you do have the right to have an attorney assist you at every stage of these proceedings, and likewise you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say in court may be used against you. I'm going to take the time now to review the certificate of probable cause. I did review it earlier. I'm going to review it again for the record. Mr. Hall, do you have any objection to that procedure at this time? Okay. I do find, based on the certificate of probable cause, there is probable cause for all three offenses. Regarding conditions of release, Ms. Montgomery.
Thank you. The state is asking for bail in the amount of $1 million. Your Honor, this is based on the heinous nature of the crime as alleged. We are also asking for conditions, standard conditions as would apply. Additionally, absolutely no contact with minors, any child under the age of 18, no frequently in areas where minors would frequent, and standard conditions.
Mr. Hall, regarding that
We're
request.
going to just reserve on the issue of bail at this time and other conditions.
I am satisfied bail as requested by the prosecution at this time is appropriate. Bail will be set at $1 million along with the other terms and conditions of release as recommended. I will sign an order to that effect. And Mr. Hall, if you can take a moment and review that document with Mr. Gaeta.
Your Honor, I've reviewed those conditions with my client and I've signed off on my order.
All right, thank you. I've signed the order as well. Ms. Montgomery, you had a motion regarding competency.
We do, Your Honor. As you know, under RCW 1077, the court has a duty imposed upon it to ensure that if there is reason to doubt a defendant's competency, then an eval should be undertaken. And based on some of the factors in the probable cause statement, the state is also beholden. Any party can bring a motion for a competency eval. We do think that is a prudent thing to do, a motion to make, and we are making it at this time.
Mr. Hall, regarding the motion.
Your Honor, I'm not objecting to that at this time. I also have my own concerns.
The factors described in the probable cause statement do support the motion. There is no objection from the defendant. I am prepared to sign an order directing a competency evaluation pursuant to RCW 1077-060.
Your Honor, now the procedural posture now will be that we need to set a status hearing about 15 days out. What works for the parties and for the court, it appears, is August 28th at 1:30. That will be a special set.
Mr. Hall?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Very well.
Your Honor, also we have we have a proposed order setting the next status hearing date of August 28th at 1:30, even though it is also on that order for competency eval.
Okay. Any objection to signing that order? Me signing that order, Mr. Hall?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I have signed the order for the competency evaluation. Likewise, I've signed an order setting further hearing for August 28th at 1:30.
Your Honor, did you sign the prelim?
I don't have an original. I had a bench copy.
That will be coming forward. The last thing, Your Honor, are you pre-assigned to this case?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, I have signed the order setting bail in this matter. Mr. Gaeta, do you have any questions regarding what's happened in court this afternoon? All right, if you do, ask your attorney. If you need some time to do that, I'll give you an opportunity to do that. No? Okay.
Nothing further from the state.
Mr. Hall? All right, we'll be at recess.